because this is kind of late, but I've been debating all day about going live. It's been an exhausting day. I've spent all day um, in Zoom meetings because job, but yeah, we'll see. Nobody's here. Nobody's here. Nobody's here at all. Where's my cat? I don't know. He's somewhere. Let's see if anybody shows up. If not, I'll just have to delete this live. Anybody here? Is anybody here? I didn't plan this, so I haven't had time to edit a video because job. So I was like, screw it, I'll go live. Yay, we got Rob, we got Razrab, we got Antonio. How you doing? We got a Belinda, we got Misty's Everyday Life, we got Tina. What's up, everybody? Woo. We got Cindy, we got 40-something Fire. How is everybody? Woo! I finally got my first day back out of the way. For people who don't know some of the history, basically, just before COVID kind of shut everything down in 2020, I was working at Oregon Shakespeare Festival, or I'd just been hired. I just showed up. I just started rehearsals. I think I was maybe like a week in or something like that. And then shutdown started. And so I was on contract. Like, I wasn't an employee. I was on contract. And so when shutdowns happened, I just lost the job. Like, I no longer had the job. And then, of course, because of what was going on, like, theater wasn't really a thing. And so I kind of threw a lot more energy into YouTube at that point because, like, I was making a little bit of money. And I was like, can I make a little bit more money? But my dream was always to get back to theater. And so I've done some small shows since COVID started, but like, this is the big job that I lost. And to be back here feels good, and I just hope I do a good job. And on one hand, I am super excited. On the other hand, I am so nervous about ruining this opportunity. So I'm in this really weird, like, state of mind about this whole thing, and being back here and having this opportunity again to do a show. I'm doing a different show than the one I was on, even though that show is also going up as well, but I'm not on that team. I'm on a different team. It's weird. It's so weird, guys. Oh my goodness. But today was just basically an orientation. I was in Zoom meetings. It was a very, very, very long day of getting orientated, basically. So yeah. By the way, a lot of people were confused. They thought that I changed my residency because of my job, and that's not what happened. I changed my residency to Oregon a long time ago, and that was for insurance purposes and some other reasons. And so that residency, which is not in Ashland, it's elsewhere, in Oregon, had nothing to do with getting a job in Oregon. Those two things just happened to happen. And so technically, I'm in my state of residence, but it's not because, like, I was planning it because it was my state of residence. It's because I got a job. So yeah, that's it. Scott Argyle, you have asked the magic question. Scott asks, did the job include housing? Previously, yes, and currently it could have. So when I got the email, I was basically offered the chance to have employee housing. And I kind of went back and forth about it because my biggest thing is, this is my house. When this job is over, this is my house. So my big thing was like, if I take the housing, where am I putting this? And so there were two options. One, I would have housing and I would drive this up here, but I wouldn't live in it, or I would decline the housing and just stay in my rig. I've chosen the second option for a number of reasons. One, the ease of this box truck is set up for me to do my daily routine, which includes my exercise and all that, really, really easy. There are a lot of complications to deciding to stay in the box truck, and obviously there are advantages to being in standard housing, but I chose to decline it and stay in this. I was worried there wasn't a really good parking situation for it in any of the sort of housing setups. And so I decided to stay in my house. I honestly love the box truck. In a perfect world, I would have a place to park with power. And that would be the magic perfect recipe, would be a place to park with a power setup. And that could either be paid or non-paid, as long as it fell within a price range that I could take care of. But that didn't happen, and so I am honestly perfectly happy to stay in the box truck. It's built perfectly for my needs, you know. And so, like, when I measured leaving home against staying home, when the point of a home on wheels is that you never have to leave it, I decided to stay home. Why not? My water's boiling. I'm making some tea for the evening. So yeah. So that's the long answer to the question. Yes, company housing was an option, and I declined that option and decided to roll with what I built to live in. And the good thing is, because I feel like there is a support team here, if the worst happened and I was like, you know what, something bad happened, hopefully there would be support here for it. I hope. I cross my fingers. So that was my decision. Thank you, Rob. Rob says you're going to kill it and welcome back to Oregon. Corey Bow says, I'm so glad you were able to get back to work. Thank you so much. Veronica G says, yay, made it live. You'll do great at the job. Just think of all you've accomplished with your build. You got this. Thank you so much. Vanlife with Gina says, you're in my neck of the woods. Scott says, good for you, home sweet home. Plant Powered Adventure says, glad to see you're back in Portland. I am absolutely positively nowhere near Portland. Portland is, I could get back to California faster than I could get to Portland. Oregon Shakespeare Festival is literally the first little town you hit when you cross the border from California into Oregon. I am nowhere, absolutely nowhere near Portland, not remotely. I'd have to cross through a lot more Oregon to get anywhere near Portland. So no, I'm not anywhere near Portland. I don't know if I should say what play I'm working on. I mean, if you go to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival website, you're going to see my name on the page. So yeah, if you really want to know what show I'm working on, just poke through all the shows on the Oregon Shakespeare Festival website and you'll figure it out. Sarah, oh my gosh, thank you for the $19.99 super chat. She says, kick arse and break legs. Thank you so much. And I need that $19.99 because, man, gas getting up here was a nightmare. But now that I'm here, I don't have to drive that much. Everything I need to get to, including there's a rest area I like to go to a lot at night. And, you know, everything is relatively close now that I'm here. But it hurt my bank account getting here because it's like I had to get from Arizona to Washington, not Washington, where am I going? I'm going way past Oregon. Arizona to Oregon in a certain time window, and I did have a little layover in the Las Vegas area, and that was where I hung out with Bunny and Riley for a little bit. Honestly, I hung back to hang with Sarah and Chantel for a little bit, but then I was in this, excuse me, my throat is killing me. But then I was in this tight time window to get here, and I just wanted to get here and be able to stop. But man, I ain't gonna lie, like those gas prices hurt me, man. Jaylena, what's up? Leave her wild. She gave me a hey. What's up, girl? Love to you and little baby Ember and Mr. Isaac. And there's gonna be some holiday where I figure out how I'm gonna get up those extra miles north to get to you and say what's up. Um, it's just been a lot, and like I think once I get here and I get settled, I'll be able to like think a little bit. Yeah. Rebecca Farrell says, I would have wanted to stay home too. Better than moving Mickey around too. Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of things to navigate, especially since I haven't done all the seasons up here. I am planning to install AC. I'm looking into options for that. So once I get my first paycheck, kind of get everything together with my bank account, like my immediate plan is to plan for AC before the months get too hot. Right now I have the fans. I also actually have decided to get a diesel heater. I know before I was like, man, I'm going to try to do this without the diesel heater. I have like a propane heater. It's not a buddy heater, but it's a vent-free propane heater, but it's just not cutting it. It's fine, but I want to do better. So I am looking into AC and a diesel heater, and I kind of have a plan. I just need to get the money together, so that whatever temperature situation I'm dealing with in here, I kind of have the means to mediate it. It's not going to get too crazy. I'm not going into, crazy conditions, and we're going to go into, summer months. So the big concern is honestly AC more than diesel heater right now. But I kind of want to have that in place for any time I might have to even just cross through like cold conditions to make it high, comfortable here overnight. But the higher priority is an air conditioning system. For Mickey, because like that's important, and we're going into the hot months, and I'm only going to be here till fall, so I won't be here or need to be here past fall. So a lot of my planning is really about the air conditioning first, but I also want to get the diesel heater. At first I was like, man, no, I'm not gonna do that, and then I changed my mind. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm entitled to change my mind. Thank you, Renee May, for posting the Patreon. Merkak says, hello from Seattle, Washington. What's up? We got a watching from Texas. Appreciation Creation says, stage direction, ? I'm assuming you're questioning what I'm doing as a job. The job I'm doing is in the area of stage management. My technical title is production assistant, and that's because, all right, I'm about to get real boring on y'all. So if anybody doesn't want to be bored, be prepared. So there's this union that stage managers in. For stage managing for theater specifically, stage managers are in a union called Actors Equity, or AEA is how it's sometimes abbreviated. A union equity theater has actors and stage managers under the same union. There are also stage managers in IATSE, but they tend not to deal with theater. Those stage managers usually deal with like musical productions and other sorts of live productions. You can be a stage manager and be in IATSE, but it's a kind of a different thing. IATSE in the theater world mostly handles like crew. That being said, I cannot be hired as a stage manager at a union theater, but I can be a production assistant, basically doing the same job as the ASM, who is the assistant stage manager, and then I can earn points towards getting in the union, which would be great, because if I get in the union, I can get higher paying stage management gigs. Now, at that point, it's still on me to find the jobs. There's no guarantee of future work, even after you get in the union. But if you do get a job, they have to hire you as an equity stage manager, and it comes with certain guarantees as far as pay and benefits and all that. So that was my dream before. And honestly, once COVID hit, I thought I was just going to have to let that dream go. And then luckily I got this opportunity to come back to OSF, which is a chance again to try again, to sort of get back into the union world. But I need to have conversations about that. But that would be the long-term result of coming back, is the hope that I could transition this into getting, into the equity world and getting equity jobs. So that's the hope. But first I have to not screw up this job. What was I talking to? So it's stage managing, not stage direction. I like to joke, oh shoot, go down. That stage managing, even though I'm the PA, technically I'm the second ASM, basically, second assistant stage manager. But I like to say in the stage management department, you're in charge of everybody and you're also working for everybody at the exact same time. It's basically middle management. Marrakech says, bet you miss driving the Toyota Sienna with gas prices. Not really. Yes, I probably would have saved some money, but not enough for it to be significant for the trade-off, to be quite honest. Once I got here, I still would have had to like either get in an apartment or live in the Toyota Sienna. And I still would have had to make it from Arizona to here with rising gas prices. I feel much more comfortable having landed here in this than I did when I was in the Toyota Sienna. And it's like, I don't have to separate from my home now that I'm here. I get to stay in my house now that I'm here. So that's part of the trade-off. Gas prices still would have sucked. It's not like the Toyota Sienna was a super fuel efficient vehicle. Like, it wasn't like Bunny's Nissan NV, which is still more, even though like size helps some. And certainly the Sienna got better gas mileage, but it wasn't like it was great either. I am perfectly happy to be here in this as opposed to in the minivan. I loved my minivan while I had it. It was a superstar. It was a rock star, but it's not going to change the fact that gas prices are inching up. Even here, I'm getting almost like, I think I just paid $4.75 a gallon. That would hurt no matter what. That would hurt no matter what. But at least when I'm parked in my house, I get to stand up and be comfortable, That's the trade-off, and I took it, and I knew what I signed up for. Leave Her Wild says, my bus is almost done. We want to come see you. Your bus is looking gorgeous. I'm sorry I haven't commented, but man, like, you're doing such a good job on that bus, and I am super impressed because you are pregnant. You're going to be dropping a baby, and you out there building a bus, man. You a rock star, Jaylena. Leslie Hughes, welcome to the live. Julie says, hey Dawn, I'm glad you got your job back. I'm so happy for you. I remember you were there in 20, and I like what you showed of Ashland back then. Hopes it turns out better this time. Me too. Also, like, I'm gonna be getting COVID tests twice a week. That's the world I'm in right now. Like, they're revising their rules as things evolve. But yeah, I'll know if I got it or not, because we're getting tested. Ann and Gigi, thank you for the $20 for gas. We are at $6 a gallon in SoCal now. Like, $5 only lasted 1 week. Oh man, that hurts. Oh, it hurts. Oops, stop it. The phone's being annoying. Oh, thank you so much. Ragamuffin Uke says, Miss Charlie here, subscriber, hosting at Valley of Rouge River State Park. You're welcome here to rest a few days. I just need days in a row off. But thank you so much. Leslie Hughes says, as from 6 p.m. yesterday, our gas and diesel prices have all increased. It has doubled in the past 6 months for me, man. Ms. Douglas says, hey Dawn and everyone, have you thought about looking into a mini split for your air conditioning system? Yes. And the thing about the mini split is you need somewhere to mount an exterior and an interior. I have looked at several solutions for AC, and there are two things. One, how much power does it need? And two, what is it going to be required to install it? What it would take to install a mini split in the setup is too much. And there are just quicker solutions. And so, yeah, it's not the right solution for this build the way it is. It would take much more effort to install that than to go with another solution, which as I get further into that, I'll maybe talk more about. Have I thought about it? Yes, I researched all of the options, and I'm still researching options, even though I think I've landed on what I want to do. Tina reminds everybody to hit the like button. Thank you. Che Baker, thank you for the $25 super chat. Thank you so much. Julian says, Dawn, go to an Army surplus store and get 2 wool blankets to hold you over till you get the heater set up. Put one under your mattress, put one on top of your blankets. My sleeping bag is a rock star. Once I'm in it, I'm fine. The worst moment is not overnight. I am warm as you can be overnight. My sleeping bag is a rock star. I swear, once I'm bundled in that, the hardest part is actually getting up out of the bed long enough to get over to the heater and turn it on. And usually what I do is I turn on the propane heater and I turn on the cab, and honestly within like 15 minutes is more than comfortable enough in here. It is the only 2 terrible nights I had was when I was trying to get from Arizona, when I was leaving, the Las Vegas area, when I left Bunny and Riley, and I crossed up through Nevada instead of through California, only to find out it made no difference. The gas prices were almost exactly the same. I may have saved a little bit on the way, but not much. And there were a couple of days where overnight I was in freezing conditions. That condition has not repeated itself since. I am more than warm enough at night. Sometimes it's chilly in the morning. I turn on the warm heater. I turn on the heat in the cab. I make sure the door is open. Eventually the 2 areas of heat catch up on each other and I'm fine and warm, and I can turn everything off. I don't even have to leave it going. So I have no problems with extreme cold right now that I need to fix. I just want to be prepared for the future. Yeah, so in the planning of the future, I'm like, there's a couple of times where it would have been nice to have the diesel heater. So the diesel heater is more of an upgrade. It's not that anything isn't working right now. It could just be better. I lost my place. This is the hard part about doing this on the phone. Victoria Hinton says, so are you having fun? I don't know yet, because honestly, I just had anxiety until I got through orientation today. So today was like my first day working, but it was not really working. It's like I went to work. I had to sit down and listen to how systems work and how things are organized and all that. But I didn't actually we weren't in the rehearsal room. We weren't working with the cast. We weren't like doing the show. It was literally like first day of work. Like, even though it's in theater, it's like any other job. You're working at a new institution. They need to introduce you to basically how things work, get you in their systems, things like that. So it was a lot of that. JBaby007 says, the box truck is probably better than paying rent for an apartment. Exactly. Because here's the thing that people forget when they try to play the price game. It's like when I lived in an apartment, I still had to get to work. So I still had to own a car. So I had to pay for all the apartment stuff, also own the car, also pay insurance on the car, and also still put gas in the car while also having the apartment and all the apartment bills. So the trade-off is fine. Comparably, the trade-off rocks, Patrima, good night. Only Me says, I live in LA but got gas in Ashland years ago. So you know what the weird thing about Oregon is? I'm getting used to not pumping my own gas, and it's weird. And also, last time I was in Oregon, I had to buy 3 gas caps because there were 3 freaking gas stations that forgot to put my gas cap back on my freaking gas thing. And so now, I asked him, I was like, did you put the gas cap back? Because it's like, and he looked at me weird. I was like, I have had to rebuy my gas cap 3 times because Oregon won't let me pump my own gas. So yeah, I'm checking. Did you put my gas cap back? And then I kind of laughed, so he knew I wasn't mad at him, but this legitimately happened. So yeah, I got to not put my hand in front of the camera because it's weird. I'm going to do this. I'm going to flip the phone. Woo. Let's see. Oh, stupid. Okay, that didn't work. I was trying to allow my finger to do this without... anything. Ann and Gigi says, I wish we had 475 down here in Southern California. I'm expecting you to hit 10 in a gallon in a couple months. We'll see. I mean, like, right now we're in a weird place where gas is going up and people have all these hard predictions, but like, yes, I've been seeing incremental rises, but I've also been seeing it just stay static as well. And also I've been seeing variables. When I was in Northern California, if I went to San Francisco, it might have been close to $7 a gallon. But there were places in the Bay Area where I was getting it for like $4.50, which was like the same price I was getting coming out of Nevada. So everything is also variable. You know, so what is the cheapest in your area? And obviously, like on the main roads, in downtown areas, anywhere where they know there's a lot of traffic and people will take the first thing they see, it's always going to be a little bit more expensive. But I miss Arizona gas prices, man. Like, if I didn't have to be here for work, I would have stayed my butt down in Arizona. Because at least I know the even if it goes up there, the curve is going to say low down there, you know, comparably speaking. Leave Her Wild says, thank you. Isaac is going to hop into the build with me this week to help me knock it out. We really do want to make plans to come see you. Isaac loves Ashland. Well, also, whenever I get a break, because I'm sure there's a break in there with me, I still haven't been to the coast. So you and Isaac and Mindy, and we can get Rob too, maybe. I don't know who's off work or available. We got to go to the coast, because last time I didn't go to the coast, and I've heard the Oregon coast is like one of the most beautiful places. So we need to before I leave Oregon, even if it's after like the last day I am here, we have to go to the coast. That's on the plan. We're going to fit that in somehow. Karen Mart, thank you for the adorable sticker and the $5 super chat. D. Scott says, Dawn, I hope everything works out for you. And are you in Colorado now? No, I am in Ashland, Oregon. I am working for the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. Ragamuffin Uke says, good luck on the new season of Nomading. Thank you. I am those G0. I always feel like I want to like say I am goo, but I don't think that's it. And I feel like you've told me before. I do not have a shipping address that I can share yet. Please do not send stuff to the festival. Please do not send stuff to the festival address for me. Please do not. I swear, I do not want to get in trouble. Let's not do that. I do not have an address for you right now. Rescue Dog Treat says, I might have missed this, but did they find a place for you to park? No, I've taken on where I be when I'm not at work as my personal responsibility as part of that choice. Felicia says, great seeing you this late because I always miss live chats. Good luck in your new job. Hope all goes well. Thank you so much. Julie N, in answer to your question about housing. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That wasn't the plan. I did that by accident. Okay, so I accidentally deleted your comment, but I wasn't mad. I was trying to, God dang it, this phone. I was just trying to read it. But the answer to your question, there are a lot of factors in housing I'm not going to get into because I feel like it gets into too much information about sort of interactions between me and Oregon Shakespeare Festival concerning my choice. They have been very positive, very supportive, and that's how much I will say about them. They have been great and excellent, and they were still trying to find a way to make their housing work. It's just, I'm sure they don't often get people who are like, I'm driving my RV up. So if you can't park my RV, I'm staying in it. This is a very like unusual situation for them. A lot of people just fly in and take the housing. Like it's almost all, that's almost what everybody does. So I've made an unusual choice. They have systems for accommodating me, and they've gone beyond the Call of Duty trying to accommodate me otherwise. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because I think the rest of it is sort of private employee stuff. And so I don't really want to get too deep into it. So that's the answer on that. Also, it was an accidental delete and I can't fix it. Shar Mills, thank you for the $50 for the gas tank. She says, hi to you and Mickey. Hope you had a good day. Where is it? Oh, I see him. I was like, where is he? Hi, buddy. I know you don't want to come. Oh, no! Sorry, buddy. Come here. Come here. Oh, there he is. There he is. Say hi to everybody. He's like, I'm getting really sick of you, Dawn. So, like, I had a Zoom earlier today, and so I bothered him during my Zoom, and now I'm bothering him again. So he's like, I really don't like this. He really just wants to go, and I won't let him go. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, I'm Mickey. Hi, I'm Mickey. Hi to everybody. I don't want to be on camera right now, but she won't let me go. He's indulging me so hard right now. He's like, if I just stay still, okay. Now he's like, okay, I'm done. There you go. Oh, what I'm happy about? I'm sorry, Julie. That was totally an accident. My finger did that by accident. I just saw it again. It was a total accident. What I'm happy about is, like, my team is full of cat people and dog people, but there were a lot of cat people in rooms I was in today. And that made me very happy that there's so many cat people. Maria Jackson says, I know here in my town in Arizona, gas went from $3.59 to $4.59 in a week. Oh, wow. Whoa. No, that's pretty close. I mean, I can get gas for $4.59. I just might have to drive more than it's worth it to try to get that that price. Leave Her Wild says, done. We'll go to the coast. We don't know when, guys, but it's gonna happen. I need to be off work first. Kathy McIntyre says, what's the weather like there today? Okay, so it's late, but I can tell you right now, it is 65 degrees in here. So totally comfortable. And it's late. So if it was going to get cold, I think the lowest low has been about 40, 45 overnight. I think that's the lowest low that I've dealt with, you know. But I've been in mild conditions, so it don't take much for me to feel like I'm cold. In Her Track says, I went to bed at Cracker Barrel with Arco next door. Gas was $3.55 when I was going to fill up, but waited until the morning. It was $4.19. What? Ugh. Vanlife Shorts, thank you for the $50 super chat. Says, because the gas struggle is real, great to see you live. Terry Newell says, hey, Dawn, I paid $4.09 a gallon today. It's just hurting everywhere, though. Like, you know. Kathy McIntyre says, I lived in Gold Hill, Oregon for 27 years, a little valley outside the Gold Hill called Sam's Valley. So beautiful. You know what I love about Ashland? The view is beautiful almost everywhere. Like, when I go to the store, I turn and there's these beautiful mountains, and I'm like, this is great. Like, I could be, like, just shopping, and then I see mountains. It's awesome. And as much as I love California and think California is gorgeous, like, there were times where I was areas where it wasn't gorgeous. It was like, well, yeah, this is, the bad side of town, and it ain't gorgeous. My scroll. Julian, crap. Why does it do that to me? Julianne says, maybe you can have some play dates with Mickey and some of the your new co-workers and their cat. I don't know if Mickey would play so much as hiss. I think that's what he would do. No, why did it do it again? Stop. Stop. I hate when it does that. Why? Every time I read the message, it did that again. I'm sorry, Julie. I swear I'm not doing that on purpose. I need to figure out how I'm doing that by accident. We're getting a whole lot of feedback on what gas is. I'm seeing a lot of people saying their gas is in the $4 to $5 range. Thanks everybody for showing up. So if it's 7:30 for me, I know it's pretty late for some of you guys. And I kept telling myself that I might edit a video or I might go live. And I was like, if I edit a video, it's going to take hours. And luckily I don't have to be in until later tomorrow. So like I might just edit a video in the morning. I actually made a cooking video. It's not edited, but I always said I'm not going to make a cooking video. I'm not going to make a cooking video. And I made a cooking video. And now I just need to edit it together. It's not good at all. It's terrible cooking video, but I made one, so nobody needs to ask me for one anymore. So yeah, I just need to edit it. And I also, actually, I didn't film anything inside, but I did, film some stuff with me going to work this morning and Lithia Park. So there is a place called Lithia Park that's basically right beside, the Elizabethan Theater, which is basically where I'm going to be working. I'm going to be working in the Elizabethan, which is the only theater that's outside. So Oregon Shakespeare Festival has 3 theaters. 2 of them are pretty much indoors. The outside theater is outside technically. So basically you have to go through like a doorway and it's a giant circle and there's a stage in the middle, but there's no roof. So technically the show is outside, but you have to go in a building to get to the outside, if that makes any sense. But anyway, right beside that is Lithia Park, which is gorgeous. And if anybody followed my videos in 2020, I did a lot of hiking videos in that park. So I would love to go like shoot some more in that park. I just would need time to do it. Because I love that park. That park is gorgeous. I am good. Thank you for the cute little fox and the $2. Okay, is it I am G00 or is it oh, I feel like you told me before and I'm an idiot and I don't remember because I'm like, is it I am G00? I'm trying to figure out if I should turn this into a name. I'm just don't know how to say it. Divine Rap said 10:30 here. My old butt was just about to head to bed when I saw you were live. LOL. Well, thank you for sticking with me. Stephanie says a cooking video would be unique. And it's sort of related to my fitness journey because I said I would start incorporating that stuff back into the channel. So I'm basically showing how I prep a meal for like a couple of days and separate it and measure it out and stuff. So it's less the goal to be a cooking video, more to sort of open up that part of what I'm trying to do with my like health and fitness journey. And I want to keep framing it like that. It is a health and fitness journey. It is not about how fast I can lose weight, because you can lose weight in an unhealthy way. And if you're just focusing on the weight loss, you can sometimes discount the other stuff you were doing. And while I do think it's unhealthy to be obese, it's also unhealthy to pursue weight loss for weight loss sake. So I'm really trying to find the right balance where I'm really prioritizing health. And yeah, if that makes any sense. You know, so I'm in a little bit of a struggle bus, making sure I keep things in the right frame, as it were, you know. Yeah. Kathy McIntyre says you have the best energy. I didn't a few days ago. I think I feel relieved that I'm here and I've also started work. And so I feel like, okay, I'm here. The process has started. I can kind of let go of some of the anxiety about getting here and getting started, you know. Demalia J says, hey, Dawn, good to catch you live at 10:30, Oxon Hill, Maryland. Gas here is $4.30. Really? $4.30. I would take that right now. Weather is around 42 degrees. Tina says, Dawn, I need your help to get me and my storage unit downsized. Sometimes you just got to commit to getting rid of stuff. When I went back to Baltimore to clean out my storage unit, I tried to be delicate at first, and then there just came a point where I had to be brutal. And honestly, I gave myself 3 days to find a place, if I could rehome it, sell it, or donate it. And if none of those options worked out in 3 days, I threw it away. And I'd rather not throw things I feel are useful into into the garbage, while I'd rather not do it if the other choice is for me to keep it. When I can't keep it, it's not worth it. So sometimes to do the purge, you just got to be brutal. You just got to say, screw it, you know? Teresa says, please show the cooking video. Well, that's the thing. It still needs to be edited. When I say I shot the video, that doesn't mean it's a full video. It's mean I did clips that when I edit them together will be a cooking video. It doesn't actually exist as a cooking video yet. It exists as a bunch of clips that need to be put together. Kathy McIntyre says, I love that park. Lithia Park is the bomb. IMG. I said that before, and then I backed away from it. IMG. I'm going to stick with that. IMG. I got you. Carolina girl says, hey, Dawn, I hope these gas prices are not hitting you too hard. These gas prices hit me in the gut, slapped me in the face, knocked me on the ground, and punched me. And I clawed my way through them to get to Oregon because I knew I had a job once I got here. Ann and Gigi, bye-bye. I hope it's 7:31. So hopefully you're here to hear me say God. Jules says, just keep trying. Don't get mad if you fall off the bus a little. I'm trying to live by that, because I definitely had 2 days of really slacking. And then this morning I got up, I made my breakfast wrap, I exercised, and I went to work, And so I'm really proud of where things fell out today. But I had 2 days of going really bad. And it used to be if I couldn't have a perfect week, I just said screw it, and I screwed up the rest of the week and decided I would fix it on Monday. But if I screwed up on Wednesday, that meant now I'm screwing up Wednesday through Sunday instead of just screwing up on Wednesday, maybe screwing up on Thursday and getting back on track on Friday. So I'm really trying to find the right framing, for things where it's like, it's not about a perfect week. It's not even about a perfect day. Even if I screw up and I don't know, I just walk past a Boston cream pie and I just cannot help myself. It doesn't mean that in the next moment I should continue to do, still have a healthy dinner that night. Even if I blew my calories for the day, still have the goal to have the healthy dinner that night and still have the goal to wake up in the morning and exercise. And also, I think getting out of the frame of mind of exercise, I can justify, having, a slice of pound cake because I'm going to exercise. That's not true. Probably I'm not going to burn as many calories as that pound cake just by exercising a little 20-minute exercise. That's not true. But by exercising, I am continuing to build the cardio and the strength and all of that, So that's what's important to me. And I have to keep that framing in mind because it is easy to get caught up in sort of the weight loss part where there's plenty of unhealthy ways to lose weight and lose weight fast. And so it's more important to be healthy than to lose weight fast. And that's kind of where I like to stay. And Stephanie says, once you find your balance concerning your diet, you will be okay. Thank you so much. That is the goal. And you know what? My darn stage manager said she bringing in bread tomorrow. And I'm like, dang it. I can't go near baked goods. Baked goods are my demon. There's no taking one piece or a small piece. Baked goods are my demon. And I've been doing really good not buying them. Therefore, they are not here. Therefore, when I get the craving, I can't just grab them because they are not here. And it's I'm just meeting this person and they're doing the whole food is love thing, and I'm trying to not. Lisa Rolfe says perfect doesn't exist. Divine Ref says I do keto. Isn't it really hard to do keto without like eating meat? It's the only way that works for me. I started doing it for weight loss, but now I do it because it makes me feel good. Perfect. External influence, who is one of my wonderful producer members, says Girl Scout cookie season is upon us. I know, my comfort food, LOL. That's another evil, man. And again, it's one of those things where people like to say, oh, just eat one. Believe me, if I open that box and I'm given that box and that box comes in my house, I'm not eating one. I can try. I can tell myself I'm going to eat one. The only way I'm going to eat one is if I eat one cookie, go out to the garbage can and throw the box away and not regret it. That's the only way I'm eating one. If it stays in here, I'm eating more than one. So yeah, I get it. Girl Scout cookies can't come in this space. Carolina girl, yes, that's the mantra I live by. She says, always remember, small changes make big results if it's something you can stick to. And I think that's what's important. Like, people do these radical things and know they're not going to stick to them. They do them for a specific goal in a short time span, and they reach that specific goal in a short time span, and then they go back to where they were. So it wasn't a long-term change. It wasn't a forever change. I used to buy bread and then I would just snack on it. And that's why I say bread and baked goods is one of my weaknesses. I used to just buy bread and snack on it, buy bread and snack on it. And now I don't. And like, I don't even, like, I just said I'm going to try to eat these other things and stop. White bread, I would eat white bread like crazy. And first I transitioned to like whole wheat bread, and then I tried to do like healthier breads. And now, honestly, the only sandwiches I eat are wraps that I make myself. So I'm not even eating like the loaf of bread that I used to eat. Now I would just eat a loaf of bread. And especially when I lived in the minivan, because it was like so hard to cook in the minivan, it was easy just to grab the loaf of bread, honestly, and just eat it. And it was probably the worst thing for me, especially when it came to like weight management. I like that word, weight management, instead of weight loss. Oh, Rebecca, yes, she says just eat one sleeve. Exactly. Like I said, the only way I'm eating one is if I eat one, throw it in the trash, and run away. That's the only way I'm eating one. I can't come in the space. Oh, man. Oh, man. And it's okay to be honest with ourselves about that. Like, some people feel like they have to have this willpower. And sometimes I think it's actually more constructive to say, like, with this particular food, I don't have the willpower. And it doesn't mean you have to give up everything you like. It's just figuring out your trigger foods, and it's a journey. Like, I wish I said I have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I'm still figuring it out. I just don't know. I just know I don't want to do anything I can't stick with, and I want to be very honest in what I can and can't stick with. Like, I gave up soda. I don't even want soda. I don't drink soda. I don't like go near soda. Like, I don't even think about buying soda. Like, I don't want it. But there was a time where I at least wanted soda sometimes. And it was just like I had to make this conscious choice to separate from it to the point. And I actually do want to do a sugar purge as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be successful, but I want to dedicate some time to not eating sugar. Not under the imaginary idea I will never eat sugar, but it just to see how much it reduces the craving for it. And I'm not a big sugar person. But there are things I like that are sugary snacks. So I think like it's something I can try to do. Whereas potato chips are another one of my demons. And I have to say back demon, because I always want potato chips. And so what I've been trying to do is find replacements for potato chips that aren't as damaging. Like, I have these chickpea snacks, and the good thing is they're small, so they have the nibble thing going on. They're chickpea snacks, so they're not as bad as potato chips. They're not the greatest thing in the world either, but they're not as bad as potato chips. And so, like, I've been eating these because they feel like a better sort of replacement for, like, having a bag of sort of some kind of salty snack thing. And so, like, when I want chips, I'll try to eat either these or I'll try to eat the snap peas. Because it's close enough of a thing that my brain can go, oh, that's fine. So yeah, that's what I'm working with right now. Divine Wrath back on the cookies. It says I have to throw them in the garbage and drive away from the. Yeah, because if I stay right by the garbage, I'll be like 5-minute rule. IMG. This gig, I will be in Oregon until October. Julie says, I don't drink soda either. They're good for you. Yeah, I've completely given it up. Now, like, what I might have every once in a blue moon is a ginger beer, which is kind of borderline, but I literally haven't had even one of those in, like, a lot of months. External Influencer says, I just stopped a 12-pack of Pepsi a day addiction and lost 50 pounds in 4 months. Awesome. Crafty Traveler says, my favorite thing to drink is unsweetened iced tea. Ooh, you reminded me. I warmed up my water and talked to you guys and forgot about it. Now my water is cold. I have to reheat it. Because you mentioned tea, which I love. I drink a lot of tea. In the morning, I drink tea. I don't drink coffee because for me personally, my coffee was always 1/4 coffee and 3/4 milk. And so in an effort to get away from that, I decided to start drinking tea because with tea, I don't really need anything in it. I might put a little bit of honey in it. But with coffee, it's like I end up sweetening it. I ended up putting creamer in it. Like, the pure taste of coffee is not something I personally really enjoy. So I always had to flavor it up. Whereas with the tea, I can get a little bit of caffeine or I can do a decaffeinated tea. Like at night, I've been doing this orange tea. And that's been really, really good. And in the morning, I'll have either jasmine or Earl Grey or something like that. And that's fine for me. I try to do the tea. I am also trying to make sure I obviously drink a lot of water. Eventually, I would like to get to the point where I'm almost exclusively drinking water. But we'll see how much I succeed. Kathy McIntyre says, lots of good farmers markets starting in the spring there. Yeah, my ASM, the assistant stage manager on the show I'm on. I hate saying it like that because she's above me. I'm the PA, she's the ASM, and then there's a stage manager, but we're a team. But anyway, she has worked at Oregon Shakespeare Festival before, and she was actually telling us about the farmers markets. So she's the one I need to stay, like, be like, what's up, Dawn? I mean, Dawn, her name ain't Dawn. What's up, Queen? What'd you say about those farmers markets again? Julianne says, Dawn Dollar Store sells a great sweet potato chip that is really delicious and are more healthy for you. Guess what, Julie? I don't like sweet potatoes. I just don't like them. I don't like sweet potatoes, period. I know. There are so many things that people go, oh, you're a vegetarian, this. And I'm like, I don't like that. And I hate being that person, which is sometimes why I don't like, I like just making food for myself, because then I don't have to feel like that person where people are like, oh, this thing. And I'm like, I don't like mushrooms or tomatoes or mayonnaise or anything made with mayonnaise or sweet potatoes. And people are like, what do you like? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm sorry. That's why I was just like, it's okay. It's fine. I'll find my own food. Don't worry about me. But I don't like sweet potatoes. People are going to think I'm weird. They're going to be like, unsubscribe. She does not like sweet potatoes. Crafty Traveler says, I can drink tea at any temperature. I like lemon in it. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Lemon is great in tea. IMG says, tea! Have you watched any Bobby Flave? I have not. He has great food alternatives. I'll have to check him out. Let's see. It's warm. All right, I'm gonna stop talking to you guys long enough to put my hot water in the cup and you know, get myself set up here. All right, so yeah. Oops, almost overdid it here. Look at that steam coming off of there. I'm gonna let it'll have time to seep. Let's see. This was actually a gift from Gina. Got some ginger peach here. This has been a good. Divine Rap says don't like mushrooms. That's it. I'm unsubbing. This tea bag smells so good when it comes out. Oh shoot. Come here. There we go. All right, so that's seeping. So by the time I get off this live, I should have a lovely cup of tea. Where are we? Charmel says, I eat whatever I want, I just don't eat it all. See, I don't have that resistance. See, there's no such thing as that. As we were discussing, for me, my brain doesn't work that way. Like, I will tell myself, oh, just have a little bit. But it's never just a little bit. If the whole thing comes in here, as we were discussing with the cookies, there is no little bit. So I'm glad you have the resistance. I recognize that I don't. And so for some things, not everything, there's some stuff I can have in moderation. For some things, honestly, the best solution is just not to eat it. I honestly, after a while, don't miss it. I move on. I find substitutes. It's worse for me to have a little bit and try to resist eating more for some things than to just not have it at all. You know, and it's one of those things, again, you have to figure it out with your own food flow, what works and what doesn't. And so people say, oh, moderation. Moderations is good for some things, but there's some stuff where I had to abstain from soda. I had to abstain from soda. I needed to get it out of my system to the point I didn't think about it anymore, and to the point that I don't desire it. There was never going to be a point where I could have a little bit of it sometimes or occasionally. I just had to let it go, and it was the best thing I ever did. And I have no regrets about 100% letting it go. Same thing with cookies. Honestly, I've had enough cookies in my lifetime that if I have them rarely to never, and if I don't have the temptation of buying them and having them, you know, indoors or in my house, like if I encounter a cookie, I want to be at an event and okay, I had a cookie. I am not buying them and sort of bringing them into my space because I know what'll happen if I do that. And it's just a choice I have to make. Lisa Roth says, I like flavored water like Hint water. The Hint water was okay. But I do like certain flavored waters. Some are better than others. I used to be in love with the bubbly, and some people drink the bubbly and think it tastes like crap. Now I stopped buying it because I felt like I was drinking more of that than actual water, and so it was still making me desire something sweet, and so I stopped buying it. But when I was really into the flavored waters or like the watery drinks or like the LaCroix and stuff like that, LaCroix, here we go with that again. And then I got really into the bubbly or the buble, whatever. And I drank that for a while. But then I made a conscious decision to stop buying it and just try to drink more pure water. But if I have the option of that and a soda, I'm going to go for the flavored water. Dang, Quas Kitty said it took me 3 days in bed and ibuprofen to kick my Coca-Cola habit. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you kicked it. Crafty Traveler says that sounds fun being in Ashland for all the Shakespeare theater. Yes. And by the way, even though the name of this festival is Oregon Shakespeare Festival, they do actually do, and I am actually on a Shakespeare play, which is funny as I say this, but they actually do a lot of plays that aren't Shakespeare. That's sort of the foundation of the company. And the thing about Shakespeare is free. New plays are not. You have to pay the playwright. You can also change Shakespeare and not ax anybody. You can cut lines, you can adjust things, you can actually get rid of whole scenes, and Shakespeare ain't coming back to say, respect my work. And a lot of his plays are really long, and the way they're built, they weren't built or written for modern audiences. So it's very common for modern directors, to decide to throw some stuff out. But I'm saying all that to say there actually are a lot of new plays at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival that are not Shakespeare. The Shakespeare stuff is good. They usually do something interesting with it, but it's just a theater company that has a tradition of doing like Shakespeare, and that's sort of their roots. In fact, the other play we are in rep with is a new play. So we're doing a Shakespeare play, but the play that's in rep with us is a non-Shakespeare play. Kathy McIntyre says the human being has good, healthy choices. There's one close by on you on the highway outside Ashland, and I've been there. I'm a fan of the human being. The first time I had the human being was in Arizona, actually. Crafty Traveler says, have you tried almond crackers from Coast Company? Is that what that's? I have not. Should I? I'll give them a try. CJW says, yes, I feel you. I am a vegan who hates mushrooms, and people are always so excited to offer or recommend mushrooms to me. I feel you. I am not. Here's my deal with mushrooms and tomatoes. If they are diced up into little pieces and like cooked in something, I'm like, all right, cool. Like they're gone. Like, but I really just don't like them on a surface level taste. Julianne says, what will you buy at a farmer's market? Then what vegetables do you like? Depending on what they got there. I mean, like, I eat artichokes, and I actually like artichokes, which a lot of people find really weird. I can eat cucumbers just as like a snack. I mean, there's lots of vegetables out there, and there's lots of vegetables I haven't tried that I might like. There are some things I like if somebody else prepares them. Like, I bought eggplant because I'd had eggplant at a restaurant, and I was like, ooh, this is good. I like eggplant. I was not able to replicate what they did with eggplant. So there's some things like prepared by somebody who knows what they're doing. I like it, but I could not be trusted to create something with it. Tomatoes, I just don't like. I mean, like, they're not... First of all, tomatoes are a fruit, but I just don't like them. Mushrooms, just don't like them. Sweet potatoes, just don't like them. I like potatoes. I just don't like sweet potatoes. Rescue Dog Treat says, I can't wait to see some hike in the park vids. Annie and Spence says, lots of things I don't like that I should eat, but... Crafty Traveler says, are you going to the Oregon meetup in June? That depends on where it is in Oregon. If it's too far away, no. I probably won't have enough time off work to do it. Inspired Wanderer says, Ashland reminds me of Berkeley. I love downtown and Lithia Park. In some ways, I agree with you. Like, Ashland shuts down really early, even though it's a college town, which I always find funny. I would say the pace in Berkeley and Ashland are a lot alike. There's some things about Ashland that aren't quite as Berkeley. Berkeley seems more like it's on the verge of trying to be more city-like, whereas Ashland seems like this borderline small town that's kind of touristy, especially with all the buildings sort of having like Shakespeare themes. So yeah, I can see how they complement each other a little bit in energy, but aren't exactly alike. All right, I'm gonna wrap up this live because we're at a little bit over an hour. Also, I've been running my generator for like an hour and a half, and it's getting dark, so I want to pull it, and I need to get out this spot. It was just a spot where I knew I could get away from running my generator for a little bit. But anyway, I'm glad to everybody who showed up to the live and interacted with me. I'm really feeling good. Like, I started to kind of, even after I got here, I felt kind of weighed down because I was just having all this anxiety over my first day. and I didn't know if I was in the mood for a live, and I said, screw it, I'm going live. So I thank all you guys for showing up, for saying hello, for interacting with me. I want to scroll through these comments a little bit before I wrap things up. Diana says, are you a vegetarian because you don't like meat? I gave up meat. Technically I'm pescatarian. I still eat seafood. I've wavered between being pescatarian and vegetarian. I tried being vegan. I could not go vegan. And it was a whole cheese thing. The funny thing is now I am starting to buy more vegan cheeses. I'm probably never going to be fully vegan, but I am trying to get a lot of my meals closer to vegan content. So what was I was saying talking about, so I eat mostly vegetarian, I would say. If you had to put a label on it, but I am technically pescatarian. I will eat seafood. I try not to eat it a lot. And I gave up beef, pork, and poultry over, how old am I? I'm 40. I was in high school. Yeah, so it's almost 20, 30 years ago that, no, I'm lying, because that would have made me 10. So it's been over 20 years since I've eaten meat, for lack of a better thing to say. So yes. External influences, eggplant is good in soup. Somebody said, Kelly B says, I have a super hard time making eggplant. Exactly. If somebody else makes eggplant, I'll eat it. But I am not going to try again. It was terrible. Diana K says, mushrooms are high on the food allergy list. Vicky says, get you some Aikens bars. They are great and you won't feel guilty. The problem with those bars is they don't really satisfy my nibble. See, the thing with something like this is it's a bag. So I can like take little pieces and take little pieces. Anything that's a bar, I eat the bar and it's gone. So if it tastes terrible, I'm never going to eat it again. And if it tastes good, I'm going to want another bar. Because what I like is that, or what I'm in, I'm not even hungry. I don't actually need food, but I have this nibble reflex. So with little things like these dried chickpeas, it satisfies my nibble reflex. It's really just, it's filler. So I need filler that's less damaging than worse options. Divine Web says, I love artichokes, but every time I have one, I think about how hungry the first person who ever ate an artichoke must have been. Oh, another thing I really like and definitely don't eat enough of is pineapples. Because we were talking about fruits and vegetables. I love me some pineapples. I love some watermelon. Apples, oranges, pears. So most fruits I like. Vegetables, you know, I'm still experimenting with. I do like, shoot, what are those things called? They're in strings. I'll eat the general stuff. Peas, green beans, corn, all that's fine. I already said I like eggplant when somebody else makes it. I recently had something with butternut squash, and I'd never had squash before, and it was actually pretty good. So it depends. I'm still finding out what I love, but I don't like the stuff I mentioned earlier. Good night, Freedom Dove. All right, I'm wrapping this up. I'm seeing the good nights. Eggplant Parmesan is great, but it's usually... Peg Bridget says, Dawn, Jaylene's baby is due June 8th. Will you get time to see them when the baby arrives? I can't guarantee that. I'll probably have a show up in June. So unfortunately, I can't guarantee I can get that far around that time. The baby might be not brand new by the time I see the baby, to be honest. Jose, sorry. Yeah, I'm wrapping up the live chat now. Glad you got a chance to pop in. Squash is yummy, Rebecca said. Again, it's one of those things I don't quite trust myself to make, but when other people make it, it turns out it's just fine. Gina G says Japanese peas with some wasabi, regular, not hot. I'll have to check out those. All right, coolio. Let's wrap this up. I'm glad to everybody who dropped in. Thank you for being here with me. I don't know, honestly, what my video schedule is going to be like. I do need to prioritize this job. This job is going to put me, not only hopefully get me back on the path I wanted to be for work, but hopefully also will help my bank account a lot. So I'm hoping both of those things are a result of the time I spend in this job. So comparatively, how much time I'll be able to be on YouTube, I don't know, but I'll try to do something once a week. All right, cool. I'll see you guys later.